What's called a woodpecker or a single leg hip hinge. I like the dowel as we're getting better at this and practicing initially to help us know when we start to round our spine versus actually hinging at the hips. So when we start off, our right leg is in front, so we'll put our left hand at the neck. We're going to find this dowel contact with our tailbone, mid back here, and then head. And you're going to sustain contact at those 3 points all through the exercise. So we'll start with a nice little decompression breath, just staying long through the spine, chin is tucked, staying tight to the dowel. Notice now as we hinge our hips through the hips, chest comes forward, the knee in the front stays behind your ankle. So really important that we don't start to come forward with the knee, but rather keep the knee and hip back on this front leg to really find tension through this posterior chain, or a lot of times through the hamstring, even behind the knee and into the calf a little bit. So we're just going to work on hinging forward first, and then controlling out of it. As we get better at this, there's progressions. We can even start to just drop the dowel if we feel like we can sustain that spinal integrity. What we don't want to do is hinge forward and see the dowel start to come up off your tailbone. Want to know, as soon as that lifts up, that's my spine moving on. It's no longer my hip. So maybe you can kind of correct it and we keep going, or maybe when the dowel comes up, that's our end range. Wherever we're at, just working on coming in, pulsing kind of into that end range, and then controlling out of it. If we don't have a dowel, you can use your pinkies on your hip bones, thumb on your rib cage, and just making sure that as we hinge, we don't collapse this area. Rather, we kind of stay long and tall through this area while we hinge. That's another option. Or look more like this here. You know, got some homework, y'all.